So hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to be learning about the democracy in India in this video right here, and do make sure to stay till the end. I have a quick tip summary for you to be able to memorize this chapter very easily. And also I have got a Google Drive PDF of the course book which I use to refer to this chapter, which has got more in-depth things in it. So let's begin. So we start off this chapter and this video with the parts of the chapter. So there are three main parts of the chapter: introduction to democracy, then features of the government, and the structure of the government. So let's start with the first one: introduction to democracy. So then a democracy is a government in which the people have the power. So we people can elect the leaders. We people can tell what the leaders have to do, and then we can also remove the leaders. So thus a democracy is said to have the power in the people's hands. So then there is a second type of government, monarchy. So in a monarchy, kings or queens rule a nation. One example of this would be the UK. So, and dictatorship is the third kind of government, which is just horrible. So, a dictatorship is where one person has absolute power over the entire nation. The people do not have freedom there. One example of this would be Hitler, and the other example would be North Korea. So then we study the second part, the features of the government. So there are four main features of the government. First, participation of the people, then accountability, then conflict resolution, and equality and justice. So let's start with the first one, participation of the people. So uh, in a democracy, the people's participation is the most vital because we people elect the leaders, then we people also tell what the leaders should do, and we people also tell the and we people also remove the leaders which we feel are not doing the work that they were told they would be doing. So next part is accountability. So accountability is where the leaders are answerable to the people for what they have done. If they are corrupt, inefficient, etc., they can be punished or impeached. Then we have conflict resolution. India's diversity often causes many conflicts. So this is a part of the government to solve. So this is known as conflict resolution. Then we have equality and justice. So the Constitution of India treats all citizens equally, and it ensures that all citizens get justice. So then we go on to the structure of the government. So there is a quick catch here, and that says the government's parts at the national level are exactly the same as the parts at the state level, just the names get turned around. So let's study about the three forms of the government of India. So the central or union government is one form which controls the entire nations, which makes the entire nation's laws. Then state government makes the state laws. Then local government administers towns and all for their own laws. So then let's study about the central government. So the branches of the central government are legislature, executive, and judiciary. So let's study about the executive first. So in the legislature, which we'll be studying a bit later, makes the laws, and the executive puts the laws to work. So the executive is somewhat like the writer. So there are three main parts of the executive at the central level. So the first one is the president and the vice president. Then we have the prime minister, And then we have the Council of Ministers. So let's study about the Prime Minister now. So the Prime Minister is the actual head, whereas the President is the nominal head. So the Prime Minister has all the powers of the central government and can make any decisions that he feels are favoring the country. So then the Prime Ministers and his Council of Ministers are involved in one of the most important decisions of the entire country. So then we have the Council of Ministers. So the Prime Minister makes his own little specially chosen group of ministers for some works because the Prime Minister can't do everything. So these group of selected ministers are called the Council of Ministers. They help assist the Prime Minister in his work. So let's study about the powers and functions of the executive. So the executive decides on policies for the government to implement on and advises the legislature to make laws that need to be made. So then the executive aids and advises the president in his or her work. The executive can also remove the president from his or her position and make amendments to the constitution. So next we get onto the legislature. So as I told you earlier that the legislature is the law-making body of the government. So the legislature at the central level is called the parliament. You must have heard of parliament, right? This is the parliament, the legislature, law-making body. Here's where the laws are made. So there are again three parts of the legislature, which are the president, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. So the president of India is the nominal head of the Indian state. The president is elected for a period of time through the 5 years elections by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the SLAs, state legislative assemblies in brackets. So then we have the Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha, often regarded to as the lower house of the parliament, or also often regarded as the house of the people, because the administrators, I mean the leaders who go to the Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people. So that is the Lok Sabha. And then we have the Rajya Sabha. So the Rajya Sabha, often regarded as the upper house of the parliament, or the also as the council of ministers, because the people, or rather the leaders who go to the Rajya Sabha, are elected by the Lok Sabha and the SLAs, state legislative assemblies in brackets. So now let's study about the powers and functions of the legislature. So the Parliament of India eh, has the power to make laws and also make changes to them. Then the functioning of the executive is checked by the legislature. Then the Parliament of India also prepares the budget each year. So that is the legislature. Then we get on to the judiciary. So the judiciary is a branch of government whose main job is to basically uphold the law of and also the rights of the citizens. Then the judiciary in India consists of three parts, the three levels: the national level, state level, and the district level. The Supreme Court works on the national level and is situated in New Delhi. So now we talk about the swaps I told you earlier in this part. So there are a few swaps and they are pretty easy to remember. So the first one is the president turns to the governor at the state level. Then the parliament turns to SLA, state legislative assemblies in brackets. Then the Rajya Sabha, which is optional to do, some states have it, some states don't. The Rajya Sabha gets swapped for the Vidhan Parishad, and the Lok Sabha, which is mandatory to swap, becomes the Vidhan Sabha and the Prime Minister becomes the Chief Minister. So, at the judiciary, I told you that the Supreme Court works at the central level. Well, then who works at the state level and who works at the district level? So, the High Court works at the state level and the District Court works at the district level. So, here's the quick tick summary I was talking about earlier. Quickly take a screenshot and we shall proceed to the end. If you like this video, then please make sure to hit that like button and also share this with other people just so that more people know about their democracy. And also subscribe to the channel for more and also click on the notifications bell and allow all notifications so that you know when my next video is coming. Thank you.